Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means? It's weekly purchases, that time of the week where we investigate with the DHL guy, the UPS guy, the Amazon guy, the United States Postal Service guy, and Waylon Jennings brought us, and what I found out in the stores as well, it is weekly purchases, the time where we go over all my purchases of the week in the back half of the show. But at the beginning, we talk about some news, some toy news this week that interested me and hopefully interested you too. So we're going to go through that first, and there's a lot of news this week and some major weekly purchases this week you will not want to miss. So stay tuned for that at the end. But first off, like we normally do, we're going to talk about what went on in the channel this week. A lot of videos on the channel this week. The figure hunt video, of course, dropped on Friday as it does every single Friday. Hot on the hunt for Castle Grayskull. Hopefully you guys checked out that video. If not, go back and check out that one. See what's going on in the stores right now. We continue with our daily Star Wars unboxings. The sleeper videos on the channel, half the time they're not even about Star Wars. They're just, they go down crazy roads, and this week, no different out there. But our daily Star Wars unboxings continue in 2021, so check those out. Hot off the truck this week, AEW Jazzwares Ringside Collectibles Cody exclusive. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at Ringside. A next level pack. That was a fun one to unbox. That's an amazing figure. So definitely check that one out. Did a little Mortal Kombat this week. We opened up Raiden Hot White Fury Bloody variant version basically. And then Johnny Cage. Probably the best figure of the bunch so far that we've unboxed on the channel. A lot more Mortal Kombat to come. Throughout the weeks. We'll slowly do through all those. Then we also unboxed the entire Shang-Chi Marvel Legends wave. Shang-Chi? I think it's Shang-Chi. We're going to go with that. We unboxed that whole wave, including the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. The final video, we built the Build-A-Figure, and then we ranked them from an order of favorite to least favorite, like we normally do in the Marvel Legends videos. It was an interesting set. I don't have a lot of attachment to Shang-Chi, as we discussed in those videos. Not really attachments to the figures or the movie yet. Maybe this fall our minds will change a little bit, so I had to kind of go in there just, here's what I think of the characters. So it was an interesting review, a type of review we don't do very often on the channel. So truly interesting, but check out the Shang-Chi videos on the channel this week. So that was a little bit what's going on. Hopefully you guys are subscribed by now. We're dangerously close to 7,000 subscribers. I was thinking this week, my dad was over, my dad and I were having a nice discussion session. We were making our plans, we were checking the list, we were checking it twice. I think once we hit 10,000 subscribers, it might be time for my dad to come on the channel. Who knows? Maybe we'll just do it together, the channel, after that. He'll just take over. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. But maybe once we hit 10,000, my dad will come on, we'll do a video together of some kind. Or maybe we'll wait for that Warlord figure. I think it would be good to see my dad unbox that Warlord figure. But yeah, 10,000 subscribers is the next big hurdle. Help us get there. Share the videos. Tell a friend. Ask your grandma to subscribe. Like I've said before, grandmas do love me. They love my stories. They love my grandma stories from back in the day. My grandma picking me up toys. They can relate to that kind of stuff. So if you got a grandma out there, make sure she is subscribed. And your wife, kids, husband, whoever. Make sure everybody's subscribed. So we're going to continue to work on that. But we'll get to 10,000 eventually. I don't know when. Maybe this year. We'll see what happens. But make sure you're subscribed. Like the video. Comment the video. All that kind of fun stuff on the channel. Follow me on social media. Twitter at SirPaul64. Instagram _Kyle_Peterson. So get that all out of the way. But how about some news this week? We got all kinds of news. I got an Ikea story, too, for later in the episode here. You're going to love this one. I got out hustled. I can't believe it. It never happens, but it happened today at Ikea. Anyways, this week, the big news for me and the big surprise that really captivated my mind and actually stole my heart, and it has not let go, and it's been about a week now. Netflix He-Man. We talked about this maybe a month ago. There was some kind of leaked pictures. I said, not for me. These do not look good at all. Well, the old glamour shot in package photos came out this week, and I was bowled over. I said, I can't believe how good these things look. I said, oh no, another line I'm probably going to end up collecting. But that Moss Man figure, absolutely next level. Teela, I thought that figure looked like a slam dunk as well. I love the white hair, kind of the extra head that comes with that one. And then, of course, you got He-Man and Skeletor rounding out the first wave. Very interesting to get Moss Man in the first wave. That's kind of a deep cut in the He-Man universe. We haven't even got that in the Origins line yet. But I'm all in on these so far. What I'm seeing in those pictures, oh man, these things look amazing. I'm guessing they're probably going to be a $25 price point, somewhere around there. We'll see a lot more to come before they hit the retail shelves, I gotta think. But when are they coming? I kind of feel like they're coming somewhat soon if we're seeing in-package images like this. So very interesting on the He-Man front. It's amazing how I go from I'm getting out of the collection after Origin line is done, because there's rumors that's coming to an end this year. I'm like, yep, that's it. I'll be done with He-Man. It's so cool. But then this comes out, and oh boy, they're fully articulated, big figures. This is what I want out of my He-Man figures. It'll be really interesting. First impressions, though, the torsos look a little bit long on them, but you got to see them in person. We got to go from there. And if they continue the looks of this in the package here, oh boy, that could be a dangerous, dangerous line. So we'll see what happens. The cartoon has to be successful on Netflix, too. I got to mention that. If that isn't successful, I don't see this line going too far. If the show's canceled after 1 season or 2, and traditionally Netflix only goes a couple of seasons on most shows, so we'll see how that line ends up taking off from there. But very interesting He-Man news this week. And then AEW. Let's talk a little AEW. We talked a little bit about how I unboxed the Cody Rhodes ringside exclusive this week on the channel. But AEW, there was a leak earlier in the week, and it was a 4-pack. Very strange. Jericho, Omega, MJF. Just a strange 4-pack that came kind of out of nowhere. It sounds like it is official, but nobody knows where the home is. Really nothing extra special about this, which is a little bit disappointing. I wish they had different colors or some variants, and maybe it's too early to tell. We'll see what happens. But it's a 4-pack. My mind immediately says that this might be a GameStop exclusive or an Amazon exclusive. We've seen it with the Star Wars Black Series, other figures, box sets like this being an Amazon exclusive. A great way to kick the line off at Amazon a little bit, maybe get some excitement around it. Or same thing for GameStop. We were told, I want to say it was January or February, Jeremy Padawer was in an interview, obviously from Jazzwares, saying they will be in GameStop stores. I've heard people finding the UFC figures at GameStop already. I could see this possibly being a GameStop exclusive, maybe a GameStop online exclusive. We'll see where it goes from there, but very interesting to see that 4-pack. Just disappointing from my end that it's something I might end up getting. I probably will. I might play the long game on it because I don't need those figures. I already have those figures. Why do I need this box set? I wish it was a special box set that kind of told a story, but it's still early, hasn't been officially announced. We'll see. Maybe it'll be added to. Maybe this is just a dummy kind of version of it. Maybe it'll be new soft goods. There'll be something else to this. But you can add that 4-pack along with that Barbed Wire Massacre playset thing we got a few weeks back that leaked. And then we've seen tons of leaked 2-pack stages. There's been a lot of talk about a lot of different AEW stuff, but nothing seems to be officially announced yet. And it's being really weird because it seems like they're playing it really close to the vest on a lot of AEW stuff. They're not getting far out like Mattel does. So it's just a different go-to-market strategy. So we'll see how that pays off for them. We'll see if things change. Maybe they'll stay the same course. Who knows? But it's still very early in that AEW figure line. But a lot of good stuff coming from there, that's for sure. I've loved Series 4. It sounds like Series 5 might be shipping ASAP. It sounds like weekly purchases next week. I very well may have Series 5 in hand, and you know what that means. We'll start another week of AEW unboxings here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell. NECA news this week. A little bit of NECA Ninja Turtle news. You guys know I love my Ninja Turtle news. Friday, everybody gets those emails from NECA if you pre-ordered anything, and it kind of gives you an update where they are. And it looks like the accessory set in that big diorama, the NECA Street Scene diorama, they're getting prepared to start shipping. They're not shipping yet. They're not giving tracking out yet, but they're preparing. So it must have just came in, is what I'm guessing. I would expect by the end of May, everybody that pre-ordered those will probably end up with them. That's my guess there. So there's the update there. We also saw the single carded release, or single box release, we should call it, in the NECA line. No different than Krang. We got Ultimate Foot Soldier coming. We know about that one. We saw Metalhead this way. But we're also getting Muckman and Joe Eyeball, and we're getting Mondo Gecko. I'd have to think both of those are coming fairly soon. Interesting, Mondo Gecko got his own pack. I figured he'd be in a 2-pack somewhere. But those got to be coming. I don't know if there's an official announcement or official news on what the next Turtle release is. I got to think it's maybe that next Frog set or maybe that Ultimate Foot Soldier. But it could be either of these guys. They keep us guessing with that Turtle anxiety. Like we said on the channel, Turtle anxiety is not as bad as it was, but there's still some anxiety when they hit. You know, we don't forget the past. If you forget the past, you're doomed to repeat it. I've always been told that. And maybe Turtle anxiety, if you forget about Turtle anxiety, it'll come back 10 times worse. So that's my pro tip. Pro tip of the day right there. How about a little G.I. Joe world talk, I guess we'll call it. Valaverse, you guys maybe are familiar. We've talked about him a few times here on the channel. Valaverse signed Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter figure was supposed to be out in April. It's been delayed till July, but we did get some new images of that Sergeant Slaughter figure to see what we're dealing with. I'm very excited for this. I think, and I don't think, they say it scales perfectly with the G.I. Joe classified figures. If you guys are like me, a wrestling fan from the 80s that loved G.I. Joe and loved wrestling, Sergeant Slaughter brought those worlds together, and there was nothing better. I remember being so excited to get my first Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe scaled figure, and some things never changed. Some 30-odd years later, I'm very excited to get a G.I. Joe classified style version of Sergeant Slaughter. I always go back to that story when I met Sergeant Slaughter. Everybody's asking him wrestling questions. I came up to him, I said, how did you defeat Nemesis Enforcer? And he just looked at me and said, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? I'll never forget it. It's burned into my memory. But I'm excited for that. So that's coming in July. I definitely got one on pre-order. I probably should have got 2 of them. I figure I'll be able to get another one probably. On Big Bad Toy Stores where I pre-ordered. I think you can still get them on there. You might want to check. Use the link in the description below, as I always say. But you're going to need a Sergeant Slaughter to go with your G.I. Joe classified figures. I mean, it's a no-brainer from where I sit. But speaking of Valaverse, some disappointing news this week. Matt Cardona, a good friend of the channel, mentioned on his Facebook group that it sounds like the Stomp Valaverse figures are pretty much off the table, or not going to happen, at least at this point. Very disappointing. I was very excited for those figures. Crossing wrestling with G.I. Joe style figures once again. No different than Sergeant Slaughter like we talked about. I love that idea. I love it, I love it, I love it. Unfortunately, these aren't going to happen, it sounds like. But maybe in the future, hopefully they find a way. I just wish we could get stuff like that, but sounds like it's not going to happen. So there you go. So that was an interesting one. How about a little Ikea talk? We'll break in some of the news. We'll give a little Ikea talk. So today, I got up extremely early. 5 a.m. I said, I got to go to Ikea. They got the bookshelves I need. They say they have 3 in stock. It's a Billy bookshelf, but a special sized Billy bookshelf, not your traditional one. So you guys know I'm about 3.5 hours from Ikea down in Kansas City. I said, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. I'm hustling down there. I'm going to get up and back. And that's exactly what I did. And I went down there. You know, they open up at 10 a.m. And I'm just sitting there waiting for the door. There's another old guy there next to me. He's like 60-something. 60-something this guy's got to be. And I'm just like, he's probably looking for some furniture. Who knows what he's up to. But it's a mad dash into the store at 10 a.m. at Ikea. I had flashbacks to the old 90s starting lineup days where everybody was at the door running to the starting lineups. And old Kyle, he out-hustled them all. He had no shame as a little kid. He would sprint as fast as he could to that toy starting lineup, and he'd get everything. You'd see grown men chasing behind me. They couldn't catch young, quick Kyle. Well, old Kyle isn't as quick as he is. He might have lost a step or two, but he's still pretty quick. And I got a fast walk. And I'm walking fast because guess what? It's 3.5 hours. I need to buy this stuff. And then I get back on the road, drive 3 hours home. Got work to do. I got a busy life. I got a really busy life, let me tell you. So I'm hustling. I'm just hustling. And then it's in the way back of the stores where the Billy bookcases are, you know, where you pick everything. But I'm like, I better get a cart because these things are heavy. I'm not going to just carry all these. And so I turn the corner, I get the cart. And then I go to the Billy bookcases. This old guy that was at the front of the store with me, he went for the same exact Billy bookcases I did. He wanted those, and and there was only 2. They said they had 3, but they only had 2. And he grabbed both of them immediately. And this old man, he had a little Incredible Hulk in him because he picked both these Billy bookcase things up by himself. They are smaller than your traditional ones, but still an impressive feat for a 60-plus-year-old guy. He grabbed both these things and was out of there, and he was hustling. I don't know what bizarro world I was in. If you watch my channel, old man, I'm coming for you. I will not give up. I will not be defeated. I will not be out-hustled. I'll get my Kansas City revenge one of these days. I couldn't believe it. I was just absolutely shocked. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I didn't get my cases. However, you know, I said, well, I'll admit defeat this time. But I grabbed the Ikea guy. I said, now, when are you getting these back? And he said between the 10th and the 16th, they got 35 coming in. So check the app and keep track of it. And I said, well, too bad I live 3.5 hours away. But guess what? Kyle's got connections. I got connections all over that feed throughout the world. And I got a buddy, and he's actually works with me, and he's actually going to be down in Kansas City next week for work. And I said, you be at the ready. You be at the ready. You're headed to Ikea, and you're going to pick those up for me. And he said he would. So hopefully I can get those 2 cases. But I couldn't believe it. I haven't been out hustled like that in a long time. So kudos to you, old man. But Kyle will get his revenge. I'll get his revenge. I always do. I'll get those bookcases. But then the reason I was getting these bookcases, everybody's like, well, what are you getting more bookcases for? Hopefully you're following my social media. Like I say, _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram, SirPaul64 on Twitter, and then the community section on YouTube. You can post like pictures and stuff. I posted them on there. Been hard at work on these new toy rooms, these new figure rooms. I told you 2022 is coming up quick. I got the contractors out. We're getting some stuff done. The one contractor I need is getting hard to get a hold of, so hopefully I can get that one done. But we got brand new carpet in one of the rooms, got a brand new couch, got some Billy bookcases to go in there, working on some world class. I always try to do it world class, and that's what we're working on, some more displays. So stay tuned, follow me like I said on social media. I'll be giving updates, but I need some more Billy bookcases, of course. And I don't remember if I mentioned when I was at Ikea, I still picked up 4. That's the max I can fit in my vehicle. So I got 4 Billy bookcases that I needed anyways, but I would have liked to get the really hard ones because they don't come in stock very often. But yeah, so a lot going on in the collection room. My house still looks like an absolute disaster. My collection tour looks like a bomb went off. I'm happy, hopefully this weekend. I'm planning on not sleeping at all this weekend. I'm going to work around the clock, building bookcases, moving things around, kind of getting my life reorganized because I feel like I'm in an episode of Hoarders right now. I got stuff all pulled out and pulled around. It looks clean from where we're sitting here, but if you could see the other side of the camera, you'd say, oh my gosh, it's like a bomb went off. He's got stuff everywhere. And that's exactly right. So I got to redo everything. I got to redo my Jack's Ruthless Aggression figures as well. You guys have seen my walls of those. I got most of those down, boxed up, put away. There's a lot of work to be done. So there's that little update there, a little Ikea update. So like I said, first weekly purchase of the week, I guess we'll count it as 4 Billy Book shelves. I did pick those up this week. So there you go. All right, now the final news of the week for toy news before we get into the weekly purchases, and we got some absolute fire. It could be one of the biggest weekly purchases weeks of all time this week. It's just weird how these things go. I feel it's going to be a slow week, and then it just absolutely explodes. Got some heavy hitters this week. But final news week, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, of course. I'm concerned more about the 8th of May. The 8th of May is what Lemmy would say. The Ace of Spades, of course. That's kind of a new thing. I don't know if Lemmy really would approve of that. I don't get too wrapped up, but the 8th of May, of course. Lemmy, Ace of Spades. But May 4th, May the 4th be with you, there was tons of Hasbro Star Wars announcements this week between the Black Series and the Vintage Collection. A lot going on, a lot of things announced. The usual suspects, you got Walmart exclusives, GameStop exclusives, regular releases, all kinds of stuff like that. But we saw the Vintage Collection winner. We talked about it a few weeks back. It's the Republic Trooper. I voted for Weequay. You guys know I want these crazy aliens, especially Jabba's aliens. I want them re-released and put back out. I wanted Weequay, but it wasn't meant to be. We also saw a Target exclusive 3 3/4 on the retro carding of Boba Fett. Very similar to the Darth Vader exclusive from a few years back with different color combinations. Supposedly, I think no 2 figures are the same, I believe is how they say that is. So he went up. That wasn't for me. Tried to get one for that backdrop guy, old friend of the channel. I couldn't get it, but he got one. So good for him. At least we got it somewhere there. We also saw Vintage Collection Echo. That one's coming out. I will be picking that one up. They did show an updated model of the Razor Crest. They kind of showed a nice diorama scene of the Jawas pulling it apart. So kind of a nod to those that pre-booked the Razor Crest. Not the Razor Quest, but the Razor Crest. People that pre-booked that got a little sneak peek of what's to come with that. But we also saw a bunch of off-world Jawas, and then they announced Vintage Collection. The Razor Crest is coming with like the head Jawa, and then you could buy all the underling Jawas in the vintage cards. So they announced that one. The one I was excited too about was my boy Tebow. We got his Black Series. We loved unboxing my boy Tebow on the channel in the Black Series. Now we're getting him in the Vintage Collection. So you know I'm a day one buyer on my boy Tebow. Gotta have that one. We also saw Death Star Droid, a really deep cut. I believe I have the Power of the Force one, and I believe the Power of the Force one was like a mail-away exclusive or something along them lines. I have not unboxed it on the channel, so it'll be unboxed on the channel one of these days. I'll look that one over. I might end up getting that as well. We also saw Endor Luke to go with the Endor Leia, Endor Han we've got in the past. And then we saw a Tusken Raider. You can never have enough Tusken Raiders. The beautiful Sand People. We all love them. They're hot right now with Mandalorian Madness. So we got another Tusken Raider coming in the Vintage Collection. And then we saw the Night Brother. Looks very, I thought it was at Savage Press, a favorite on the channel right here from the Clone Wars. Unboxed his 3 3/4 a few weeks ago on the channel. Looked that video up. But I thought we were finally getting the Black Series version, but it was just a Night Brother. Very similar, but different, I guess we'll call it. But we got that one coming in the GameStop exclusive version. I'll probably pick that one up, but I saw GameStop hike that thing up to, like, with shipping and tax and everything, it was like $35. I said, I'm going to play a little bit of that long game on that one. I don't know. I'll find it somewhere. I'm sure I'll get it. And then we also saw from the Bad Batch, we saw Admiral Rampart. I have not watched the Bad Batch yet. That dropped on Disney Plus May 4th. I'm hoping to find time some evening this weekend and finally watch the first episode of the Bad Batch. I'm pretty excited about that, actually. So we'll see how that ends up going. But then they showed a pipeline review of the little girl that's in that story. I don't know how that's going to go. Kids are dangerous to enter into these stories. So you got the Bad Batch, they're like the A-Team, and then you throw a little girl with them. I don't know. I hope it's not too comedic. Like I said, I haven't seen the show yet, but that either goes really good or really bad. There's usually very little in between. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe she'll be terrible and she'll get killed off right at the beginning. That would be deep for Disney Plus, but who knows what'll happen there. Will it be like a young version of Sindel from Escape from Endor and The Battle for Endor and all those movies? I always liked those movies, but I was a kid when those came out. You guys know I love me some Ewoks. So will she be the modern day Sindel from that? Who knows? And the funny thing is, for like the first 15 years, I thought Sindel was a boy. I never realized it was a girl. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together. I just thought it was just a little effeminate boy is what I figured Sindel was. But boy, was I wrong. Who knew? But I'm trying to get my kids to watch that movie. I loved it as a kid. I said, you guys need to watch this. You won't watch Star Wars? Maybe I can gather them in with those Ewoks and get the story started. But so far, no luck. Trying to get little Emma on the couch to just pay attention for like 20 minutes is work in itself. She just turned 6. She's got no time to be watching Ewoks. She's got iPads to play with and stuff like that. So there you go. A lot of Star Wars news this week. So I know a lot of Star Wars heads out there are pretty excited. I'm excited about a lot of it myself as well. So that brings us to Album of the Week before weekly purchases. We always talk about what I'm listening to. You guys know I love heavy metal. It's not Exodus this week. I just happen to have Exodus on my t-shirt. But this week there was 2. I wanted to talk about 2 things. One thing that really got my attention this week was, have you seen Udo and the Old Gang, or UDO, but Udo from Accept, the old lead singer, fast as a shark, balls to the wall. You guys know Udo. Udo and the Old Gang. What a weird time to be alive. It's like I'm in a bizarre world right now. I love Udo. I love Accept. I love both of them. It's like having 2 Accepts. I love it. I absolutely love new Accept. I love Udo throughout the years. Udo's one of the most underrated metal singers of all time. Absolutely love him. But now they got Udo and the Old Gang. Peter from Accept, one of the founding members, him and Wolf were like the 2 big dogs of that band over the last few years. There must have been a falling out. Accept always, keeps stuff so close to the vest. They never tell you what's going on. But Peter has left Accept and went to Udo's band. Stephen Kaufman, many years ago, left Accept and went to Udo's band. So now there is 1 original member in Accept, and there's 3 in Udo's band. Why is Udo's band not called Accept at this point? It's unbelievable. They started a new band with Peter joining. Now it's called Udo and the Old Gang. They got 2 songs out. A little mixed results, to be honest. It's not the classic Accept sound I'm looking for, especially with 3 members in the band. And then they put a girl singer in there, and I'm not a big fan. Nothing against you girl singers out there, but girl singers in metal I just never have been a huge fan of. Maybe that's just me. I don't know what it is. Jill Janis of Huntress is my favorite female metal singer of all time. But I really don't go down that road too much. So it's a little too operatic, but I'll definitely check out the rest of the album when it is released. I love the new Accept album as well that just came out beginning of the year. It was probably Album of the Week, first of the year. That was Too Mean to Die. Interesting time. So I had to bring that up. It's just been rattling in my head all week. I said, I just can't understand this Accept business. It's just crazy. But the Album of the Week, which I listened to today, coming back from Ikea, was Van Weezer. From Weezer. Weezer, not heavy metal, of course, but, 90s study hall. When Kyle was in high school, I'd have my old cassette tape and my Discman, and we got in study hall, you could put your head down and take a nap, and that's pretty much what I did. I wasn't going to study. Studying's for the birds, not for me. I would sit there and listen to my Discman, and I want to say it was 1996, give or take a year or 2. I listened to that Blue album on repeat a million times, and then Out Come the Wolves by Rancid. Those 2 I've listened to 1,000 times that year. They just basically rotated all day long in my study hall classes. And Van Weezer was the album this week for me. Weezer stole my heart and never let go. They've had some challenges. The last 3, I want to say, albums did absolutely nothing for me. Really hot garbage of the week. It hurts me to say it because I do love Weezer. I've seen him in concert a ton of times. Old Waylon Jennings, one of the best friends, if not the best friend of the show, Waylon Jennings. Huge Weezer fan. Huge Weezer fan. I always go to him for my Weezer news and my Power Ranger news and Turtle news. Just a renaissance man, that Waylon Jennings. He didn't like the album so much. I actually did. I thought Van Weezer was pretty good. You know, it was a little hokey, stealing some metal riffs here. It was definitely not the metal album or even hard rock album they promised, but it was definitely somewhat of a return to form with at least a little bit more crunchy guitars in there, compared to like kind of the pseudo rap pop stuff that's been the last few albums that really turned a guy like me off. So Van Weezer's I recommend checking it out for a quick listen. It was interesting enough. I think you owe it one listen, especially if you're a Weezer fan back in the day. I don't want to call it a total return to form, but it's still pretty good. It hasn't topped. I'm a deep cut guy. I love Pinkerton. That's my favorite Weezer album. Been my favorite album for a long time. But I like a lot of their albums. It's just the last three. Boy, they really turned me off with those last three. So that's it. That's Album of the Week this week. We're already at about a half hour here of news. We got a lot of weekly purchases to get through and some really exciting weekly purchases that I think you guys are going to be thrilled about. So let's get to it. Let's get down to the weekly purchases. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get down to the weekly purchases. And like we talked about and like you saw on the channel this week, it is a bit of a Cody Rhodes week, or Cody, AEW Jazzwares, Cody Rhodes. Got my mint on card, mint on box, whatever you want to call it of this one. Absolutely love this set. Cody's not my favorite wrestler of all time. He's not even in like the top 50 probably of all time. I know it might be sacrilegious to some of you guys out there, but you cannot deny this is an amazing set. I would love to see an Ultimate Warrior like this, where he's got all the backgrounds, all the stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff they could do. I would love to see these Jazzwares exclusives. Give us a box set like this every year. Give us the Blood and Guts 2-pack every year of the bloodiest match of the year. Keep doing stuff like this, because I think the hardcore collectors and the internal wrestling business fans, I think they really enjoy these exclusives that Ringside's coming out with. So there it is. There's that one. But speaking of exclusives, speaking of chases, you know what I picked up this week? Like a crazy person this week, I picked this one up. Some might say a fool and his money. But what did I pick up this week? How about Cody Rhodes? A little chase action from Series 4. So it's Cody Rhodes week, apparently, on the channel. But I'm not going to open this one up, unfortunately. But 1 of 1,000, Cody Rhodes. I've talked about it on the channel before. I was all out on these chases and all that kind of stuff with AEW. I did not like how they were going about it. I still don't like the distribution at store level from what I'm seeing. But then they announced they were going to more manageable numbers, which I know have turned some people off. Does not turn me off. I think that is a great decision for them. They're going to be a little easier to get on the 2 chases, and I'm not struggling with finding them. I think I'll have an easy time finding those, or at least getting them for a cheaper price on the secondary market. So I like that direction, but I think a lot of other people like that direction as well. But I think what people are forgetting is wait till San Diego Comic-Con, wait till New York Toy Fairs come back, wait till stuff like that comes back. Because guess what? We've seen the pattern in the past. We see it with some of the stuff AEW Jazzwares is doing right now. I mark my words, we're going to have 1 of 100s. We'll have 1 of 25s out there at some of these special events like that. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very upset when that time comes. So just be prepared. I don't know anything, but I'm just saying that day is coming. We'll see it. But I'm happy to have this one. Still got to get the Matt Hardy here. I got to get the Darby Allin and the Rio. I don't want to pay an arm and a leg, but I got to find them eventually. So hopefully I find them in the store. That would be a best case scenario for sure. For all of us, for everybody. But if I got to go to the aftermarket, I got to get a deal. You guys know that's one of the mottos on the channel. Got to get a deal, and I got to get a deal. So there you go. That's some fire to start off weekly purchases, and it gets better from here. I don't know. Does it? We'll see. You guys vote. Here's a long game one. I've been trying to get this one for $30 shipped has been my goal. Finally got it. Star Wars Legacy Collection, Leak, Tar, and Nippet. You guys know I love me some Ewoks, and this is a really cool one. Got that baby Ewok from that brief scene in Return of the Jedi. I was all in when I saw this, but I didn't like the price point of it. A lot of times you see this go for loose for $30. I said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to play that long game. I've been playing it for about 6 months now. Finally got one to buy it now, free shipping at $30. Sign me up all day long, and that's why I bought it. So there you go. Here's another one I've been playing the long game on. The old Star Wars Power of the Force. This could absolutely be hot garbage. We're going to unbox this on the channel. I'll probably unbox it maybe Saturday or Sunday or Monday maybe. But Star Wars Power of the Force. Jedi Spirits, Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan. I had never had this in the past. We've talked on the week this week for Star Wars. It was holographic week. Holographic transmission, Spirit Ghost, that kind of stuff week. Opened up a lot of garbage figures, to be honest with you. And it might continue with these Spirit Ghost ones, but we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. So there's that. Like a lot of you guys out there probably this week, you've got your Micro Brawler. Macho Man Micro Brawler, of course. There it is right here. So it's a Pro Wrestling Tees exclusive, as you guys know. Part of that Macho Man Madness Day that was on Pro Wrestling Tees, where they released like 6 different Macho Mans. This is the first one they announced. And you guys know I'm not a huge Micro Brawler guy. Outside of face-painted guys, Ultimate Warrior, stuff like that, I'll pick those up. Outside of that, it's not really for me. I got enough stuff to collect. Micro Brawler just doesn't do it a lot for me. But this Macho Man came up. It was fairly cheap. Caught me in a weak moment. I said, you know what? I'm going to get it. Then they released the next one, and I said, I'm passing. Next one, passing. Next one, passing. By the time they kept going, I said, I wish I wouldn't have bought this one. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I might just hold on to this for a little bit. Maybe I'll be able to sell it. I'm sure I can at least get my money back. So that's always a best case scenario. So there you go. But speaking of Micro Brawlers, hopefully you saw it on the channel this week. I unboxed the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Pro Wrestling Tees crate on the channel this week. So check out that video if you missed it. I won't show any of that stuff here because I know some people are still waiting for that. I know I hate spoilers, so I don't want to spoil anybody's fun with their major crate. But I did get that this week as well. Go to the video and you can see the unboxing for yourself. How about old Tony Storm? I ended up picking this up on a figure hunt. I think it was in my figure hunting video, I'm pretty sure. I had the other Tony Storm already. I said, you know what the heck? I'll just get the red one just to match with it. I don't know. See you later. We'll unbox that on the channel one of these days as well. You guys know me. I'm a sucker for a big monkey. Yes, you're right. King Kong is one of my favorites. And then I saw this DC Multiverse Gorilla Grodd, and I couldn't pass it up. It's just a big monkey in a gold suit. I mean, this is what I want. I don't want DC figures, but I keep buying these McFarlane ones. They keep getting sprinkled in my collection. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. I might display him with my NECA King Kong, or maybe I'll put him with my Mortal Kombat figures. Who knows? But he is through the door this week. I might unbox this on the channel this week, just to see what all the fuss is about, see what's going on with that one. But I got Gorilla Grodd through the door this week. How about the longest of the long games, and not on purpose? I wasn't playing the long game. I was forced into the long game. Over the last year and a half, I would say, this has been the hardest figure for me to find. I don't know what it is, if it's distribution in my area, it's terrible timing on Big Bad Toy Store, terrible timing on Amazon, on Walmart.com, Target.com. I've just had it's like whatever could go wrong, went wrong. And that's exactly what happened with this figure. But today, I finally got it. I finally got it in my hands. I can finally unbox it. I already unboxed the series long ago. Who am I talking about? Any guesses out there? You can probably guess. Old Scareglow, finally coming through the door via Big Bad Toy Store. I finally got it in. I got my mint one. I ordered 2 of them. As you guys know, I buy one to keep on card, one to open. I got both of them. They both came unpunched. This one's got a little crease on the corner. This one is minty mint. Keep this one in the pack. We're going to unbox this one. Excited to have Scareglow finally, but man, what a weird deal. I don't know. It just took forever, and now they're finally starting to hit stores I've seen in some areas. Haven't seen any of them. Orko, Manifaces, Trapjaw, haven't seen any of them on the pegs in my area. Maybe it'll be this week, but talk about the long game. Talk about the forced long game. Very, very strange on that Scareglow. I'm just happy to have the hunt over with. I can move my attention elsewhere. Speaking of He-Man, you guys might have saw me post this once again on social media. I got the big Masters of the Universe, the toys of He-Man in the Master Universe. Pixel Dan, you guys, YouTube sensation, YouTube legend, I guess at this point, toy legend. He came out with this book with Dark Horse. They've had a few other Masters of the Universe, like comic book books like this. Very hardcover, very well done. I have not cracked it open. Maybe sometime this week I will try to get to this and look through it, but I'm happy to have this. He-Man, I really regret selling all my old He-Man toys, and I was never even close to a He-Man completist back in the day. I was just a hair young to really be hardcore into He-Man. I was much hardcore into G.I. Joe based on my age. But I really do appreciate books like this, and it feels like I have the collection a little bit, even though I don't when I have a big book like this. It gets my mind spinning. I've always wanted to document my collection of all my stuff into a book and do a hardcover book like this. I don't know. I'm sure I got the figures for it to document it. I just don't know if I could put it together and how that would go, but maybe one day. Who knows? One day I might sit down and write the Great American Novel, or the Great American Wrestling Figure Picture Book, or maybe just Kyle's Collection. And there it is. Maybe I'll make it an ebook and just email it out to everybody. But it'd be cool to have a hardcover book like this one day. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, I'm sure. I'm sure they have. But I got that, so congrats to old Pixel Dan for getting that done. All right, how about we take a little break and we do a little Lucy's section. We haven't had Lucy's in a heck of a long time on the channel. We don't get a ton of Lucy's anymore, but every once in a while we do. And this week, I guess I'm the greatest Great Khali collector there is. I saw a couple of deals online. I already had Great Khali in the more of the brighter red pants. As you guys know, maybe you don't, Great Khali never had an elite figure. Maybe he will one day, but he has not had an elite. He had a few basics. Well, I had the one basic. Well, I found this basic in the dark red, really cheap on eBay. I said, you know what? I'm going to pick it up. What's it hurt? I'm just going to grab it. So I grabbed that one. This black one, I believe it was from the Heritage series. This is his rarest figure. It also has a different head scan than the other one. So I saw this one. It was like $30 loose. It's a lot for a basic, but you don't see this one pop up a whole lot. And I said, you know what? I have the other two. I might as well complete the Khali collection. They don't have an elite Khali, so this kind of has to do. And anyways, my mind said I needed both of them, and that's what I did. I picked those up. So I got two Great Khalis this week. What a banner week for Great Khali. A couple weeks ago, went to the Hall of Fame. A couple weeks later, went into my collection. What's better? I don't know. You'd have to vote. You guys, we've talked about it too on the channel. I'm working on, after I got my Jack's Ruthless Aggression sets done, I've turned my attention to TNA Deluxe Impact. I'm very close to completing that collection. One I've talked about I'm missing is Hernandez. There's a silver Hernandez and then the Mexican flag colored Hernandez one. And I got this one this week. So I was happy to pick this guy up. Minty loose. That's the way I want to get these because they're all going to be loose eventually unless I can get them a decent price around the same area. But I just got a few left. I got a buddy here in town that has the Velvet Sky and blue I need. It's buried. He's going to unbury it, and I'm going to get that from him. And then I'm just stuck with just a few more. I'm trying to think who it is. Off the top of my head, I can't even remember. Oh, Magnus. There's the first Magnus. I think his second release was Nick Aldis. If it wasn't, it was just Magnus, but it's the first Magnus release in the black trunks. I need to get that one. And then there might be one exclusive I need. But I'm about ready to wrap that collection up. So it's a nice, easy collection. It's nice to form a little accomplishment there before I jump into the Deluxe Aggression figures from the WWE Jax line. As I need a lot of those ones still. I need all the Rey Mysterios basically and a few here and there. So, and speaking of the Jax Deluxe Aggression line, I went to a flea market last week. There was a few things there, and really it was all hot garbage. As most flea markets are, it's talk about a diamond in a rough. But I ended up finding this Jax Deluxe Aggression Rey Mysterio. Now, this is a Jax Classic Superstar Rey Mysterio, and that's one with Eddie Guerrero. That is a heavy, heavy hitter item in package, which I do have. But I saw this loose, and it was only $5. I said, you know, I can't pass that up. Eventually I can just put it with my other Deluxe Aggressions. But that's a heavy dollar figure. I mean, that's a $20, $30, $40 figure, depending on condition, just loose. So for $5, thought that was a good deal. And then I got a Roddy Piper Classic Superstars for $3. You can't pass up a Roddy Piper figure. I think you see Roddy Piper, you got to pick it up, don't you? I think you do. So there's a couple wrestling Lucy's. But now talk about long game Lucy's. Had some assist here with our old friend Waylon Jennings. Gave me a hot assist here. I've been telling him, I said, you know what? I've got all those Savage Dragons. We did the final we didn't do the final one. We did Wildcats Part 3 from Playmates, the Wildcats Superheroes. We did the unboxing, the third unboxing video. We'll have the fourth one hopefully next week. I got one more to do there. Then we're going to have Savage Dragon unboxing videos for Playmates. Going back, buying those collections I had in the mid-90s. I absolutely love Savage Dragon. That was my favorite. But a little known fact was Savage Dragon had a crossover with the Ninja Turtles. And the Ninja Turtles figures came out from Playmates to scale with the Savage Dragon figures. I've been looking and haven't been able to find them. High dollar when I do find them. Well, I'm an idiot because Waylon Jennings helped me out. I said, gosh, I just can't find these, Waylon. I don't know what's going on. And he's a turtle expert. So he immediately sent me links over. I was just searching wrong. I'm searching Savage Dragon Ninja Turtles. I should have just been searching straight up Ninja Turtles 95 Playmates. Just stupid on me. I've been using eBay for like ever since it began. But somehow I missed it. So kudos to old Waylon Jennings tipping me off. I ended up paying a heck of a lot more than I wanted to for these, but I've been searching for so long, I said, I just want the search over. I'm just going to overpay, I'm going to be done. I did the exact opposite of gotta get a deal. I don't recommend doing it, but that's what I did. So I got Donatello. Very interesting characters here. You got Donatello. You got Michelangelo, of course. These did come complete with their comic books and their, the comic books that go along with them, so I did get those. So I got Michelangelo, of course, and then Raphael. So there's Raphael. So I got these three. I'm happy to have these done, but you guys probably saying, well, where's Leonardo? Can you believe they did not make Leonardo? How do you only make 3 of the turtles? How do you not make all 4? Well, that's what Playmates did. They said, 3 turtles is good. Nobody'll even notice Leonardo's not in the picture. Well, I noticed all these years later, and I kind of long for a Leonardo. I wish I was good customizer. I'd customize one of these into Leonardo. But wasn't meant to be, so I got the Savage Dragon Playmate set. I'm just missing the long hair she-dragon is the only one I'm missing, and that's the easiest one to find, so I'm just playing the long game, waiting for a deal. I'd like to pay around $15 ship for that one. Like I said, you got to get a deal, and I got to make up for this, overpaying for these turtles just to have them done. So there's the Lucy portion of the show. Now, I got to clean all this stuff off like we've had to do the last few weeks. There's been so many weekly purchases. Clean this stuff off, and then we'll hit up round 2 on weekly purchases. All right, guys, let's kick off round 2 of weekly purchases, and we're going to begin with a little Star Wars. And gotta get a deal. It's the motto. We talked about not getting a deal with those turtles. Now we talk about gotta get a deal with old Ankeny. You guys remember old Ankeny from The Force Awakens? We unboxed his Black Series on the channel. Well, I finally got his 3 3/4. I have this pro tip out there on Amazon. Put something in your cart, leave it there. Sometimes the price goes up or goes down most of the times, and you can get a good deal that way. Don't be too anxious unless you really have to be to purchase right away. Let it marinate for a couple of days, and that's what I did. I've had this in my cart for like 2 months, and it went down to $4.63 with free shipping. How Amazon makes any money with this? It came in a bagged envelope, but it's fine. It's totally mint. I'm opening it anyways. But how do they make any money shipping just a $4.63 figure? I know they got their own carriers and all that kind of stuff, but it's just crazy. So Ankeny came through. Best $4.63 I spent this week, probably. Speaking of Star Wars, GameStop coming in hot. I ended up getting these off of GameStop. It's old Darth Maul. A lot of people caught up in VCR, VHS tape madness right now. People recollecting. If you're a member of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Facebook group, a lot of people getting VHS tapes right now. I can't say I'm a part of that. That's a road I'm not going down. But a little touch to the past. How about this? Darth Maul, and it comes in like a VHS style case. I think that is a really cool touch. But GameStop exclusive. Picked that up this week. I got Darth Maul. Carner Jax, which we're going to have to get into this, and I'm not familiar with this character at all. It's from the comic books. Apparently it's supposed to be Car Kanos, but it's Carner Jax. I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little research before I unbox it so I don't sound like a total idiot not know what I'm talking about. So I got that one. And then the one I'm most excited for, you guys know I love oddball characters. I love crazy characters. How about Jackson from Star Wars cartoon or comic? Look at that. A full-sized rabbit. Sign me up all day long. All day long I want something like this. So I'm very excited to open him up. Probably open these guys up this week. But I love the deluxe packaging on these. And they ended up at GameStop special being only $21.99. They were supposed to be $25.99, I think. Saved a few dollars. Got free shipping. All that fun stuff. So kudos to GameStop. Got to get a deal. GameStop. Speaking of no warrior left behind. You guys know that's a motto on the channel. No warrior left behind. But there's another guy we don't ever want to leave behind either. And that's Flint. I don't know who would win in a battle between Flint and the Ultimate Warrior. 2 of the all-time greats. But I found Flint this week on all my figure hunts. It's funny is I had this in my figure hunting video and I accidentally deleted it when I found it. I was like, what? I deleted this? But I did. I did find Flint this week. And then once again, that old outlaw, that old Waylon Jennings, he was out in the stores this week. Found these for me. He goes, you need these? And I said, oh, I don't really, but yes, I do. And he said, that's the old Kyle I know. And I got 2 more Cobra troopers. Cobra infantrymen, actually. 2 more of these guys. The army building continues. We'll see where that ends up going. So I got these this week. No Joe's left behind at this point. And it's good to see my boy Roadblock. I'm starting to see him on the shelves again. So it's nice to see Roadblock out there doing his thing on the pegs. How about a little more wrestling? We're going to finish up. I think we got 4 or 5 left. We're going to finish it up. might as well call the new motto, no Vader left behind. You guys know I love me some Big Van Vader, so I had to pick him up, of course. We unboxed him on the channel maybe 2 weeks ago, but this Vader is truly special. It can basically be a 4-in-1. You don't get a lot of figures that way, and Vader is one of my all-time favorites. I really discussed it deep in the unboxing video of the first time I remember ever seeing Vader, and this is how I saw him for the first time. Just being amazed at the big old mastodon helmet. I said, how is he going to wrestle in this? But really a special piece to me in my wrestling fandom over the years. So I really do like this figure. So you guys know I had to get a few more of these. So I got 2 more this week. I'm probably going to end up with 4. I thought I was going to do 3. I'll probably end up with 4. I did get one for my dad. My dad loves him some Vader too. He loves characters like this because my dad is smart. He's like a lot of people out there. We all know we like big figures, Vader. We like masked wrestlers, Vader. We like face-painted wrestlers. No, not face-painted, but we still like him. So we like Vader out there. I like Vader. My dad likes Vader. I picked him up a Vader. It's going to go with his Warlords and his Ultimate Warriors and his Superstar Billy Graham figures. You gotta get Vader. So got 2 more Vaders this week. And then I broke down, I did get another John Cena this week. So John Cena, another 2-in-1. I was displaying the one I have already with his younger head. This will be with the old head on it. So there you go. Very interesting. These seem to be popping up and out of the Target app on a daily basis. I think if you are patient enough and you put this in your Target alerts, you'll get these. Don't be too concerned. Don't be paying $60, $70 on eBay like some people are. Play a little bit of the long game. They're starting to trickle. I actually found one of these, as you saw in the figure hunt video. I actually found it in my store, which I was kind of shocked. Just chilling there. He was the only one, just chilling on the pegs. So I scooped him up right away. But don't overpay for these. Be interesting to see when DDP and Brutus Beefcake come out. Supposedly June, maybe. I'm hoping we still get those. I hope there's nothing goofy with that, I guess. Hopefully those come very soon. And then we got the Fan Centrals coming around June as well via Amazon. So hopefully no issues with that either. Then the final one I picked up with Vader, picked this bad boy up. It is Edge. I figured, we'll see. I haven't seen the black one on the shelf yet. It caught me in a weak moment. I said, I don't really need this. Why am I buying this? And then I said, you know what I'll probably end up doing? I'll probably give this away on the channel. So I'm going to tuck this one away. I got a few other figures to tuck away. We're almost to 7,000 subscribers. We'll probably hit that very soon. But 10,000 subscribers, we got to do something special, don't we? It's 10,000. You only hit 10,000 once. Well, unless somebody unsubscribes and then somebody else subscribes, then you're back to 10,000. But 10,000 subscribers is a big deal. The channel's been going for about a year. Hopefully we can get to 10,000 pretty soon. So my ask of you guys is share, recopy, post the tweets, post my videos, do whatever you can. We'll get more subscribers one of these days. But once we get to 10,000, we're going to do some kind of a special giveaway. We got to think of something. I'll probably throw Edge in there. I got some extra Star Wars figures. Maybe I'll have a big old box of stuff to give to one lucky viewer. We'll find a contest like we've done in the past. Or maybe I'll do 10 giveaways. Maybe we'll do something. 10,000 subscribers, 10 different figures given away. I don't know. We got some time. I'm guessing we're not going to hit 10,000 overnight, but we got some time. But we'll do a big giveaway when we hit 10,000. I'm going to get my dad involved somehow in the channel. A lot of you guys have messaged me. You want to see my dad's collection. You want to see my dad talk on one of these videos. I tell you, I'm nothing compared to my dad. I'm building him up a little bit, but you know he's a professional speaker. He would speak for years at conferences and stuff like that. He's a professional. I just play one on YouTube from time to time. But yeah, so he'll be a good video guest. Maybe we could do a Q&A. We could talk about the old past, the old starting lineup days, the old days with Kyle hot on the hunt with my dad by my side. Or me by his side, more likely, since he was driving. But we could do a video like that. We could do the Warlord unboxing if that somehow equals around the 10,000 subscriber time frame. But we'll definitely give some stuff away. So a lot of good stuff coming on the channel around that. And like I said, I get a lot of messages about my dad. So I think I've about convinced him. I said, I'll dangle that carrot. Maybe we'll get some more subscribers out there once we get to 10,000. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, tell a friend. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you follow me on social media, like I said. Go to belowthecollar.com. Search Kyle on there. Get your very own See You Later t-shirt. Be the most stylish guy or gal in your neighborhood. So a lot going on the channel, a lot going on social media, a lot of opportunities coming out, a lot of news to come. And as you guys know, we got unboxings every week. Sometimes we have 3 videos a day. I just start cranking them out. I said, we got to get ahead of some of this stuff. I don't want to get behind. And I got a ton of videos in the can as well, just in case. Who knows? Maybe I get sick. Who knows? Maybe I get in a car accident. I want to keep content coming for you guys while I recover in the hospital. We'll see. Hopefully not. But got a lot of videos to come, a lot of good stuff to come. So any comments you guys got, tell me what you picked up this week. Anything you got for me, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. So that's it for another week of weekly purchases. And you guys know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into the weekend. See you guys all real soon.